Hello boys, this is a video designed to help those who might be finding absolute references a little bit difficult. Anyway, I've got some data on the screen and it's about the different teams in the English Premier League or Premiership, and it's about how many people attend the matches throughout the season. So we can see here Manchester United, 1.43 million approximately people attended over a course of 19 matches. And what I want to try and do is, first of all, I'm going to fix this value here, these totals at the end. So I want this to be the sum of all of these values up here. Okay, so it's the sum of those values. Okay, that's that done. And at the moment, this is just a number that's been put in there. I'm going to make this the sum of these numbers as well. Right, okay. Now, the idea is, let's say the Premiership decide to try and earn some money for youth football, say. And they've got this idea that they will take a certain amount of money, let's say £1 or 50 pence or whatever it is, from each attendee that goes to the match, and it's the club's responsibility to pay that. So, for example, Manchester United, let's say if it was £1 for each attendee that goes, they will contribute 1.43 million approximately pounds to youth development. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add an extra bit of data here, fee for youth development. Okay, and I'm going to put the fee in here, and this is going to be in pounds. So let's say we're going to just, perhaps it's 50 pence. And in this column here, in this column F, I'm going to have a column that shows how much money they're going to be spending or giving to youth development. Okay, so cost of youth development, we'll call that. Okay, I'm just going to make the column fit nicely by double clicking there. Now, so what do we need to do? Well, we need to multiply for each one of these figures the number of attendees multiplied by the fee that there is for each attendee. Okay, so what we could do, we could put a formula inside this cell here. So we always start formulae off with an equal sign, and we want this to be equal to this value here, whatever their attendance is, and then we multiply that with how much the cost is for each attendee. If I press enter, I get 715,251. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to change the formatting of these cells, so it's number, and I'm going to have 2 decimal places, and I'm going to use 1,000 separated just so that you can see that a bit easier. So we've got 715,251 pounds and 0 pence, and that's correct. If I double that, I do indeed get this 1.43 million figure. The idea of copying formulae is I should be able to copy this formula down to all of these cells, and for each one of these cells will correctly calculate how much money they provide youth development. Let's just correct this spelling mistake here, youth development. There we go. Right. So let's try that. Let's highlight this cell, and I'm going to copy by using this bottom right hand corner of the cell, and I'm going to drag that down to there, and I'm going to open up the cell a little bit more to get all the numbers. Okay, so we can see something is going very, very wrong here. I really don't think it would be fair on Manchester City to pay, I don't know what that is, £1.1 trillion, or however much that is. I think even Aguero wouldn't cost that much. Okay, so what do we do? Well, what's gone wrong? Well, let's examine to see what's gone wrong. Let's double click on this on Arsenal's cell. You can see what it's done is, as these rows go down for each team, it also makes the respective rows come down for this value 0.5. So if I click on West Ham United, I can see there that I'm trying to multiply West Ham United's attendance by this cell attendees per session, which is why I'm not getting a value there, because I can't do that, because it's not a number times 1.082 million, right? And the same here. So I'm getting, for every single value, I'm getting the wrong value coming in. I really want the blue times the red, and the red I want to be up there. Yeah? So what should this formula be instead? Well, I know that I want to fix this particular reference. I always want to refer to D1 as being my cost for youth development per person that attends a football match. So in order to do that, I use a fixing operator. Now, a fixing operator is a dollar. What that says is that I want to say, I want this value to be D4 multiplied by $D. That means fix the column D. Do not change the column D when I'm dragging the formula down. Keep D there. And I want to do the same thing with my row, because I don't want the rows to come down either. So I'm going to put a dollar there as well. So I'm saying always make sure that this number here is the value inside the cell D1. Okay, so we still get the same value here. Now this time when I drag it down, I get these values coming. That seems to be better. So let's take an example here. Tottenham Hotspur, 601,000. It does seem as though just over £300,000 is the correct amount of money. And of course I could change this amount. So let's say it's £2 per person, and all the numbers would change automatically. Or maybe it's only 20 pence per attendee, and we can see what happens. Now if I double click on any of these cells, you can see I am indeed getting the right formula. I'm getting this attendance multiplied by this fee for youth development. So that's what we're doing when we're doing this absolute cell referencing. We're fixing particular values so that they don't move when the formula is calculated.